What is up, you guys, and welcome back to Bvi Pilots. Glad to be here with you guys. I hope everybody's doing okay. And this is part 2 for the video covering the Honeycomb Yolk. Now, I said in the first video that I was going to, do a flight with it and, kind of talk about it as I'm flying, and then we'll have a final review of everything, all in all, once we get landed. We're going to be flying from Denver to Chicago. I will say that I did do some mapping to make the switches for what I needed them to do. Using Prepare is a little different, and I'll talk about that in the next video. But just a quick idea of what I've done with my mapping of my switches. I've got one switch to start up the engines for the jet. I've got another switch for I've got my landing lights, I got my strobe light, I've got my airspeed hold, I've got that, I've got heading. I'm trying to think of everything. I've got the heading. I've got. Well, we'll go over them. There's, like I said, this is all new. So, but just an idea. I got really all of your basics that you kind of need when you're doing your flight. There's also approach mode. That's a button that's been configured. Airspeed hold. The Mach button, I've done that. I've done I know I'm missing something. What am I missing? I am missing something. I'll think of it anyway when we get up in the air. So right now I do need to activate a couple things here. I believe we're already on the runway. We've already did that, and I took a break and came back. We'll do that. Now, I will tell you what I don't have, that I'm still going to be, at least for right now, I am going to get out my throttle and see if I can plug that in and use it too. But it's connected with the flight stick, so I don't know if that's going to, if these are going to interfere with each other. I don't know. I will be getting me a throttle by itself. That's a definite. And so you guys know, I talked with a couple people actually through Honeycomb, and so far no one has heard of a individual throttle being designed by Honeycomb yet. Now, I think it'll happen because people want that if you're going to use a yoke, you're going to want to use a throttle. The more we can get away from the keyboard to do our flight, that's what we want. So anyways, just so you know that, if you're wondering about that, if there's gonna be a throttle, there's, from what I've been told, no, but, or at least as of right now. So our jet, we are running. Let's go ahead and activate our damper. That's another switch I forgot to say. Right, yaw damper is active. Go. I got to remember all these, you guys. We're going to activate our landing lights. Okay, so those are on. I'm not going to do the strobe light yet, not until we get up in the air. Really, you don't need it during the day anyways. Not that I know of. Let's see. Auto throttle. Oh, it was. There we go. Auto throttle is armed. Let's check our. Oh, we gotta do our. Come on. Okay, flaps. We need to go to 10. There we go. Flaps 10. What did this other one do? I don't remember. Nothing? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it did too. There we go. RTO is active. Let's see here. Are you going to work or what are you doing? There's our GPS. My pitch. Why are you not working? Well, I'll have to fix that. My button for my pitch is not working, so I'm going to remap that. I must have hit a button or something. So airspeed is throttle's good. I believe this was for approach. Let me hit it for a minute. Yeah, that was approach. We don't want that. Okay, so it looks like we've got everything that we need. What did this other button do? Oh, that's our spoilers. Okay. There we go. And then, of course, I think we're going to be good to go, you guys. Again, you know, I'm using the yoke, and I'm also using the keyboard a little bit. All right. Altitude set for 35,000. Autopilot is active. And 1 is active, so we're looking good there. And we're going to keep it right there for a minute. And I believe we are going to be ready to go, guys. And here we go. Go. Come on, give me speed. speed gets to where I need it. There we go. Airspeed is active, which is one of my switches. Strobe lights are active. Let's see, what did that say? There we go. Come on, I need you to change GPS, please. There we go. And I've got another switch that does our auto nav. For nav 1. So my GPS is active, my nav 1 is active, and I'll tell you what, this thing, guys, this thing is, I'm just amazed. Amazed. And holding on to this yoke is just, it's amazing. Amazing. On takeoff, I barely was pulling back on the yoke to bring that nose up. I mean, this thing is so accurate. When we get up to, you know, a higher altitude, we'll go to manual for a minute and we'll just see how it does. You know, with just kind of maybe move down a little bit, see how it handles. But we'll wait till we get up where we need to be. I still haven't set my hi-hat button. I can change different scenery, as you guys can see. There's one. And I'm just kind of moving, you know. I'm not sure what scenery I got it on now. But let's check our altitude. I do want to give a thumbs up to Jason for I'm using the beta version of Talking Flight Monitor. I do like the new sound that it makes. It's not just your standard computer ding, so you'll know when it's definitely, you know, being used correctly, or being used at all rather. Yeah, we're going a little fast, but, you know, what do you do? I'm not used to not having a throttle, so that's just going to be something that I'm going to get penalized for, but, you know, what do you do? Let's see. We're at 10,000. still at 284 knots. Nice thing is I can let go of the, well, we're in autopilot anyways. Let's see here. Airspeed 290. We're at 12,000. What is our vertical? That's all right. So time of arrival. So close to 2 hours on this flight, but time we get up to altitude, cruising altitude, we're probably going to be down to maybe an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. I can't remember. There's a button, and I don't remember what it does, but we're not gonna do that. And there's that. Well, we're good right now. So yeah, back to what I was saying to first Jason for Talking Flight Monitor. I really want to, on behalf of Bvi Pilots and all of us that are flying and having fun and enjoying ourselves, I think we need to just take a minute to thank Jason for all the hard work. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort when you are doing the programming and all that, and he's got some other great ideas in the future. I'm not going to talk about that because I don't know if he said anything. If he has, great. If he hasn't, then I'm sure he will when he's ready to do that. I will say that he's really trying to make things easier for us so that we can fly and enjoy ourselves just as much as a sighted person. And then I also want to go over to Steve with Ideal Flight. I believe that, I wrote Steve the other day. I wrote him a letter. And I was just, thanking him for, everything that he's doing. Steve is got a program here that he's making really good for us to use, and we need to also take time out to thank him and to really show how much we appreciate that. There's some pilots out there, not pilots, but visually impaired flight, those that are visually impaired flying in the sim or whatever, and they're complaining about the price. But to me, the price don't bother me. It's well worth it. So why anybody would be complaining about that, I don't know, because there's really no reason to, no need to. I was looking at the lights on the front of my Honeycomb here. Those that are sighted, you'll find that there's lights on the front of it that light up the, the front of the display of the dash, which is really cool. That is really cool. It's a cool add-on that they did, and I think that's really cool too. As far as flying, man, this thing is just does beautiful. We're going to go to Mach speed here shortly. Let's see. I do want to set it before we do that. Alright, if I remember correctly, which one was our Mach? Yay, I did it! Yes, I've even got a switch for our Mach speed, people. Which is a good thing to have. Alright, good deal. Alright, she's slowly climbing, good deal. But this thing just does beautiful, you guys. It really does. I would say at this point, even after I do my final review on the next video, I'm just going to tell you, if you want a good, a good flight yoke, this is the one. It really is. And I'm not saying that because of any type of promotions or anything, because I don't get anything for doing, a review on it. I don't get anything for telling you to buy it. But I'm telling you, it's definitely worth it. The texture of the yoke itself, it's got a nice finish to it. It's not a rough texture. It's not, one of them, where it's like a real generic plastic or anything. It's where your thumbs go, kind of rest when you're holding the bars or the handles, whatever, the yoke on each side. There's actually indentations where your thumbs rest real nice and comfortably, and it's real smooth too, so it's not it's not the same texture as the rest of the yoke. It kind of feels like the way they've done this yoke, it almost feels like a leather, a real tough leather, which I'm not 100% on the material, but it's just really well done. So again, if it was me and I was you and you wanted one that was fun to fly with, this would be the one. It really will. I like it because I can, now I can look and say, okay, yep, I've got my lights on, or my lights are off. And we'll talk about some things you need to know. We'll talk about a couple things here after the video, but like I said, the nice thing is you can just kind of look over and you'll know what's on what's not. Like right now, I know my power's on, obviously. I know that my damper's on because the switch is up. I know that my airspeed hold, it's in the active position, which even though Mach speed's taken over, once I release it, it'll go right back to that. So, actually, matter of fact, I believe it was this guy right here. And we'll leave that down. So, you know, like I said, there's a few things that you can do that you're going to need to do, and we'll get into that in the final review of the Honeycomb Yolk. But it's just nice having all these switches. Matter of fact, I still need to figure out what I want to do with my ignition here, because I don't need it because I do the start all. So I don't really have the ignition part set up yet, which I'm going to, but I just gotta, you know, one day at a time. So yeah. Let's check our altitude here and see where we're at. We're at 28,000. Traveling 274 knots. Okay, 0.76. I do want to adjust the back. So we're looking good there. But yeah, it's a nice thing about having these switches. The way they got the switches is, it's, you know, you're able to touch them and know what do I got on, what isn't on. You know, I know my Mach speed's on because I can touch the button, and it's in the up position. I know that my nav is on because it's in the up position. So, you know. All right. I'm going to let you guys watch the flight here for a second while I take care of something on the side. So, stick around and take over if you have to, okay? All right, you guys, I am back. Let's check out and see how things are looking. All right, now you might be wondering, why is it that we're not going up anymore? We're only at 32,000. That's because I did an override on the altitude, instead of going all the way up to 35, which we could have. We could have went up to 35. Let's see something here. An hour and 23 minutes. We'll go ahead and go back. We'll go ahead and go up to 22. Alright, let's see here what we got going on. Oh, you know what? We are at 35,000. I was looking at AGL instead of ASL. Yeah, it might help if you're looking at the right one there, John. Okay. So, we're right at 0.75 on Mach speed. I just didn't see a need of rushing things or any of that stuff. I do want to see if we go into manual here. Let's see what happens. With that, then shift M. Whoa, 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 whoa. I hit the wrong thing. Turned off my battery for generator. Okay. Let's see what happens if we pull up on it a little bit. See what kind of vertical that gives us. Okay, see, I barely got the yoke pulled back, and this thing just does absolutely amazing. Go ahead and see if it levels out. And there it is, level. This thing does amazing, you guys. Let's try to go down a little bit. Let's check it. Let's see here. Now we're going minus. And the cool thing is, we're right back at our 35,000. Now let's check our heading for a minute. So the heading's 60. If I was to turn it a little, let's see what it does. See if she starts to turn. Oh, I know why it's doing that. Because I've got the GPS turned on and it's staying and following that. Okay, so I don't want to get off track with it too much, but I would like to see turn to, well, if I do that, it's going to turn my mock on. No, we're not going to do that. So let's go ahead and all right, we're back to autopilot. We're at 35,000. For some reason, my talking flight monitor just closed on me. That ain't good. Let's see if I can get it back up. Phew, thank God. So, flying wise, you guys, this thing does absolutely amazing. We got an hour and 16 minutes left of this flight. So, you know, either stick around and just enjoy the views. And I'll be talking back with you again here in a minute. You're going to see the scenes change a little bit when we... I'm actually going to get someone sighted here to tell me exactly what we are looking at here. Alright, so let's see. Go down right there. Sorry, trying to adjust this daggone bar. It's right in front of where my screen is, so I can't really see what it's doing. A view there. I don't know what that one is. Let's see. Kind of center things for you guys. And yeah, so we land here in about an hour. So stick around. Alright guys, you're probably wondering what in the world was that all about. Those of you that might have sight. So the hat switch right now just does a view around the cockpit. You can look up, down, left, right, behind you, just to kind of see what, what's what. I'm going to be switching that. I don't know what I'm going to use that for. Because I've already got I've already got buttons for my trim actually. So we'll see. I don't know yet. I am going to be using there's a round button, a bigger round button on the right handle, right where your thumb, you can hit with your thumb. I'm going to use that for my mic, for whenever I'm talking on VATSIM, stuff like that. So hopefully we have a good flight here though. I'm hoping. Let's take a look here. 1 hour and 9 minutes. So yeah, I'm excited about landing. At least I think I am. We'll see. Again, this will be my first landing with the yoke, so it might not be my best landing. But you got to get used to these yokes on how much to pull back. So we'll see. We'll see. Let me actually do something to get rid of some other noise. Hold on, guys. Alright guys, I am back. Let's see how we are doing so far. Take a look at number 1. Our altitude's looking good. Turn 58 knots. Mach speed looking good. Got an hour and 3 minutes. That wind is what's really being a little rough today. But you know, just the way it is. Sometimes you have a smooth flight, and other times you got them rougher flights. I will say I'm going to do a review on the new self-loading at some point. I don't know when yet. The problem that I have with self-loading cargo right now is when it's loaded, number one, you got to uncheck it or it's going to stay above your other windows. It'll stay on top. And that can be a problem with when you're using JAWS. Now, maybe not NVDA, but JAWS, for some reason, whenever I'm running self-loading and I'm trying to use JAWS, it's hard to read stuff. Because instead of JAWS reading it the right way, JAWS will start saying graphic. And graphic does me no good. So I've got a habit of I keep on reaching up and grabbing the yoke, thinking I'm needing to do steering, but I don't need to do that. We're on autopilot right now, so let's see, what is my lights on? There it is. Okay. It's better at nighttime because, you know, there's no light shining in here. It's hard to see that. For me, it's hard to see the red lights, but I can see them now. Of course, there's, like I said, for those that are sighted, there's 5 different settings on the lights. You got dim, low, medium, dim, low, medium, bright, and brighter. There's 5 different settings for them lights, which is cool. You know, you can give you that more of that real effect of, you know, flying. I will say, grabbing this yoke though, it really does make you feel like you're, you know, like you're flying in a jet, just because of the way this thing feels. And you know, if you was to put on your headphones, close your eyes, sit in your seat and grab this yoke and listen to your sounds, it really does feel like you're, you know, you're flying a jet. Even looking at this yoke, you know, it looks really well made. I'm just impressed. Again, we'll have an overall video after we land. I'll talk about all this, and I'm also going to go over a couple things that you'll have to do, but it's more of a prepare thing. It's not, you know, something because of the honeycomb yoke. It's got to do with prepare, okay? So just keep that in mind. Let's see. All right, 58 minutes, so actually about 38 minutes. No, about 40 minutes. And hopefully, you know, Hopefully it doesn't act like it's acted before and not want to descend and all that. As a matter of fact, we'll make sure that we're going to make sure the trim's got and check this altitude. There we go. When you do that, you're making sure tramp, takes a hold of things. So we're good there. She should send on her own. Of course, when it does that, I'll have to switch from GPS to nav, turn off my nav 1. Activate heading, which is I've actually got my heading as a switch on my dashboard here. So I just flip that switch up and it'll go into heading. And same with, my approach is actually a button on the yoke handle itself on the left side. It's the little round button that I told you about, that you can feel that actually sticks up, that skinnier round button. I've got that as my approach button, so I'll hit that and we'll be on our way. I guess I could have made it, made one of my switches for approach, but this works. Lights. Alright, I got them off for right now. Landing lights are off. Until it starts getting dark, and then we'll activate our strobe light. And then when we start descending, I'll activate my landing lights. All that good stuff. Eventually what I'd really like to do is be able to get a paid version of one of the jets and actually go through the whole check system. That'd be cool too, to learn all that. But we make it work with what we can do and all that stuff. Again, I hope everybody's doing all right today. I do want to bring up the AA Virtuals. They're looking for beta testers for the upcoming A-Cars, the new design that they're going to be doing. I did put in as a beta tester. I'm hoping I get selected so that I can do the beta testing for the accessible side of things. Because as of right now, the A-Cars for AA Virtual is really accessible, and I hope it stays that way. So hopefully as a beta tester, I can continue to give suggestions and, so that things stay that way, hopefully. I've heard talk about the new A-Car system, and apparently, from what I've heard, one of the features, instead of you having to start it when you get ready to take off and all that, it will start on its own. So that'd be nice to to have. All right, let's see here. I gotta check some. Give me 1 sec. Just checking some messages here, guys. I'll be right back with you. Guys, I am back with you again. Let's see here. What is our closest city? At least in Iowa. Denison, Iowa. back on the view there. Let's check. Wind is at 40 knots at 0 knots. So you got some wind for sure. Just no gusting with it. Just straight wind, 40 knots. Lovely. Kind of like the fact that we're going at Mach 0.75. We're not rushing. Kind of just taking it easy. 47 minutes. So about 20, 30, about 30 minutes, 32 minutes, around in there. We'll still be in the air, and then we'll start descending down to make our landing, which I feel really good about. Oh, I know what that button is on the back of my handle. I made it mine. Because I'm always using it. It seems like even when I'm on M2. And that's for my spoiler. So that's what that is there for. I would really like to practice flying in which settings are going to be a lot different, even on the dash, to fly, one of your smaller planes. It's going to be a lot different. So, using the yoke, that won't be much different, but these buttons are really out of the box set up for your jets. It's got by default one of the buttons was for taxiing. I think another one was for push. I've got the email. I have to look at it and see what they was by default. But any of them by default, it's not gonna. I can tell you that the reader doesn't read all of them when you do activate them. This doesn't do it. Let's go ahead and flip on our strobe lights. There we go. Just in case no one sees us now, they will. It's currently 8:28 Eastern Time. 44 minutes of total flight time remaining. Mach is still at 0.75. AGL 33,000. ASL 34. Yeah, well, pretty much 35,000. So we're looking good, you guys. Actually, that should turn off my APU. Should. Doesn't mean it's going to. I'll have to look at these on the next. know by default, one of the settings on the ignition was all. I forget what the other one said, but yeah. Big red time. Again, to any of you that don't have a yoke, or maybe you've got a yoke, you don't like it, I really would like to suggest that you get yourself the Honeycomb Yolk. You're going to find a link down below. You can click on that. That is not any type of affiliate link or anything like that. It's just a link to take you to the site to order your yoke. You might go there, they might not have them in stock, but you can go ahead and make your do a pre-order, and they're pretty quick. When I did my pre-order, about a week, and then actually it had ended up coming in sooner than what they had thought. They had me for they had it in for this not going out until the 9th, and I ended up receiving it yesterday. So, you know, if you order one, you're going to get it quick. Mine was at my front step the very next day. Now, I don't know if that's because of location, because originally they're coming out of Ohio, okay? So, you know, that could be why, or they purposely did overnight shipping via FedEx. But, you know, you just have to see when you order it how long it's going to take, and it'll tell you. As soon as it gets shipped out, you'll know how long it takes. If it's on pre-order, you're not going to know until it gets shipped on how long it's going to take to get it, but they are really quick about it. I don't know if, you know, if they're building these on orders, or, you know, they have so many that come in. I'm not sure, but I really need to get the throttle hooked up too. I got a feeling as soon as I plug in that other flight stick and throttle, I don't know how it would know the difference between the two different units. So, you know, I don't know. We'll see. If it was up to me, I would just freaking. If I had a way to do it, I'd wire this thing right in. But, you know, I don't know anything about wiring. Sorry, I was looking at a light. I thought I had a light flashing on my thing. I'm like, does that mean something? But it's not. It's not flashing. I'm just seeing things. Alright, let's check now. We're 38 minutes, so really about a little over 20 minutes and we'll be descending. It'd be nice if we had a way that some of these commands that we use, we can make them actual hotkeys on our yoke, you know, with talking flight monitor. That'd be freaking awesome if we had that ability. But I don't think there's a way to do that. But it would be nice just to hit a button to get your altitude, hit a button. Definitely, if we could hit a button to switch to M2, that would, or, you know, M1 to M2, that would be freaking awesome. But not a big deal. I can just reach over my right hand, and the way I've got my stuff set up, my keyboard's on, because I've got an L desk here. My keyboard's to my right, so I can literally hold the yoke while I'm doing other stuff. You know, which does help. what's sitting in me there. Alright, we're still flying through Iowa right now. Not sure what the weather is in Chicago, but I guess we'll find out here in a little bit. Matter of fact, there we go. Gotta wait for it to come on, but so far this has been a really nice flight. I'm really happy with things so far. Well, the winds went down a little bit. We was at 40 and now it's at 35 at 0 knots. 162, a heading of 162 at 35 knots, 0 gust. So went down a little bit. Just making it a little easier for us. And of course, what I'll do when we get down to 25,000, we'll switch it from Mach. That's why I just flipped that switch down. It doesn't turn Mach off, and I'll explain that in the overall final video that we do. I'll explain what I meant by that. But anyway, I went ahead and flipped down my switch for Mach. That way, when I get to 25,000, I'll flip the switch back up for airspeed hold, and we'll be set. Okay, Google, what is the weather at Chicago Airport? Any rain tonight? Good, 'cause I'm going to be flying out of O'Hare tonight to head over to, I believe I'm heading to Detroit from O'Hare. I believe I'm flying to Detroit, and then, yeah, we'll see. I might even do that on Bat Sim. I might do the Chicago to Detroit on Bat Sim. We'll see what happens. Gotta fix my chair here. There we go. I do kind of wish my desk was a little lower, to set this on. I mean, it's not up super high. It's still right there in front of me or whatever, but I do wish it was down just a little bit lower, but that's okay. I tell you the one thing that makes this yoke really good as far as pushing in or pulling back and it being so smooth. One is due to that steel bar. It's just a steel bar, no wires going through it. So it's solid steel, and it's able to do what it needs to do inside there. I don't know how that worked. If it's on some kind of, well, I guess it's got to be some kind of spring loaded system, but for either way it works good. So 32 minutes. Okay. I do want to make sure we can get our So the waypoint I'm going to be looking for. Bach, B-H-A-W-K. Okay. Bach. Bach. I want to be silent. Let's see what. 27 minutes, you guys. Okay, good. I thought I hit a button. My keyboard slipped over here. We're at 27 minutes, so take about 15 minutes of that for landing. So in about 12 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes, we should start descending. Closest city, Independence, Iowa. Well, guys, so far it's been a pretty good trip. Weather's been good. No, no rough flying at all, I don't think. Wind 181 at 25. Yeah, 181 at 25 knots, so 30, 32. So the winds dropped from 40 down to 25. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Again, I want to thank you guys for, flying with me. I'm not, the funnest pilot in the world probably, but I try to keep a conversation going. Talk about a little bit of everything. Of course, this is all about, this flight's about the Honeycomb, so I've been talking a lot about that. You're going to find that there's 3 videos with the Honeycomb because I wanted to basically break them down into 3 different videos, because on the first one, I did give it a rating of 1 to 10 as far as quality, how well it was built. And of course, I gave it a 10. On flying, so far, we're at a 10. Things have been good. The switches have worked exactly the way they're supposed to. So I'm not going to give it a bad rating whenever it's doing what it's supposed to do, right? I really am amazed though by the quality of this thing. I wish that all of you had one. If it's up to me, and if I was wealthy, every one of you guys that's a part of BVI, you all would have one. I do want to talk to you about something, and I'll go ahead and bring that up in this video. You will have an opportunity to get yourself one of these. Probably be about another month or so out. Maybe it might even me and George was talking. It might be July, possibly into August when we do it. But it's going to be a contest that's going to be, you got to do your work. You're going to have to practice. You're going to have to, use your brain on some stuff. So hopefully, we can make it fun for you at the same time. But you're winning something that's, not just your typical everyday yoke that you get, for $50 or $60. This thing is, at a value of almost $300. So, well, $250, but I mean, I always round it off and whatever, but it'll be fun for whoever would win. I can tell you that it's not going to be just one flight. You're going to have like a 3, possibly, I don't know yet, but possibly a 4-legger flight. So this isn't going to be something that you start and then you be done in an hour. We're going to turn this into an all-day event. Nice thing is, you'll get to start whenever you want that day, but you got to be done by a certain time. If you're not, then you're disqualified. So you don't want to start too late. Do your math on how long it's going to take to do these flights. Look at your flight report, your flight plans on, how long it takes. You will be able to, after you do your second leg flight, you'll be able to land, take it to the gate, have your lunch, load your new flight plan, take off again, and continue your journey. So, it'll be fun and it'll be worth it. Guys, we're at 20 minutes. I'm hoping this thing descends at a decent time, but if not, I've got my spoiler button right at the tip of my finger where I can really take full control of this. Now I'm not going to be pulling back on my yoke or pushing on my yoke until it gets close to landing. Then I'll pull it back and I'll hold it back a little so that we come in nice and smooth and easy, hopefully. Knowing how much to pull back is going to be the thing, and we'll learn as we go. It's going to be different without the throttle. I will tell you that. do want the throttle, but all right. Time en route 18 minutes. I like the fact of having the keyboard to my right. Of course, I'm right-handed, but this thing is so smooth to control. I can literally, if I had to pull back on the yoke, I could do that one-handed. If I needed to hit a button on the right side of the yoke and my left hand, my right hand's busy doing stuff on the keyboard, it's that easy to reach over and hit what I gotta hit, you know, to do that. So, smooth stuff, you guys. Let's see. 17 minutes. I'm expecting we should start descending around 12 minutes or so. I hope so. I hope it's not going to be goofy. Okay. It's amazing because we're still showing Iowa being closest, but it's what happens when you're 35,000 feet up in the sky. All right, we are going to go ahead of time. Get them landing lights active. Oh, whoops, we want to keep them on. Strobe lights. Alright. Good deal. Good deal, good deal, good deal. Alright, let's see here. Come on, it's been a really good flight the whole time, so don't let me down, please. Doing good on fuel. We're still at 35% in all three tanks, left tank, or center tank, left tank, and right tank. I believe that's going to be our I believe our waypoint's coming up now, where we should start descending. Do. Looking good, you guys. Things are looking good. I'm going to turn on this fan on. We got to have some little air in here. Here we go. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. 14 minutes. 17 miles. So it definitely, last minute, man, it comes down. definitely been a good flight. Again, I want to thank you guys. I do want to remind you, up there goes our altitude. So let's go ahead and make sure our landing lights are active. Landing lights are active. Strobe lights are on. So we are looking good, you guys. $33,000 AGL. And again, we will be switching back to airspeed. We're at 32,000 AGL, 33,000 ASL. Once we get down to 25,000, we'll switch over to airspeed. And we get down to 16,000, we'll switch to M2. $31,000 AGL. What did I say? 32,000 ASL. All right. Going at 283 knots. Mach is at 0.75. So we are looking good, you guys. ASL 30,000. AGL 29,000. I want to remind you guys to tap on that subscribe button and join us here at Bvi Pilots. We'll be bringing you all kinds of different videos, reviews, and all that good stuff just for you, you know, to bring some entertainment to you as well. Sometimes we act silly, but it's about having fun at the same time. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also be sure to give us a thumbs up showing that you like this video or another video, or maybe you just want to show that you like this channel in general. Also be sure to click on your notification settings and set your notifications to always, so that you are notified each and every single time that we publish a video. We are at 28,000. So we're going to be speed's picking up because we're coming down quicker. What is our vertical here? Oh yeah, we're dropping fast. 302 knots, which I expected. 27,000 AGL. Go ahead and there we go, we're on Mach speed. $309 knots. Let's test out our spoiler button on the back of the yoke. it works. Good deal. Once I get down to 17,000, we're gonna 16,000, we will go to M2. So far, things are looking beautiful, you guys. Beautiful. I do want to watch my speed. We're at 319 knots indicated. 440 knots true, so we are booking. $20,000. So far, so good, folks. We are looking fabulous. Let's take a look here. Alright. So far, so good, you guys. Setting the altimeter. We're at 19,000. Now, by default, the 737 MAX 10 will reset the altimeter at 18,000. But I always double check it. All right. We're going to be going to heading mode M2 here shortly. We're at 18,000 AGL. Well, ASL and AGL are pretty close together. Sometimes they're right there together, and sometimes they're kind of separated. Go ahead and let's go. Go to M1. All right. Now I did my heading, I did my nav, I turned off my GPS, I did all that with the yoke system. I didn't have to touch any of that other stuff. We're at 317 knots. 15,000 AGL. We're at 14,000. 314 knots. Yeah, I tell you what, my AGL and ASL are staying right by each other. We are looking good, guys. $13,000. Yeah, my AGO and ASL, man, they're staying right on top of each other, which is good. That's good. We're at 315 knots. Which, once we get under 10,000, I'm going to be bringing my speed down to 170, riding that for a few minutes. Which M2 is supposed to take care of the speed. And it just isn't doing a good job at that. Come on, M2, you're not doing your job. Do your job. We're at 10,000. 303 knots indicated. 294. Good thing I changed the speed, because M2 is just not doing it, and I don't know why. As you know, you're hearing me hit the buttons a lot because I'm keeping an eye on speed and altitude. We're at 261 knots. Okay. Now we're riding at 170 knots. Once I get to about 5,000, we'll turn on approach. Okay. We're at 233 knots. Which I'll be working on flaps here shortly. We're looking good, you guys. Come on. you. Looking good, you guys, so far. We're getting ready to go to approach mode here in a minute. Alright. Once I get under 5,000, actually we can probably get ready to go to approach here real soon. About 172 knots, that's looking good. 5340 on altitude. Approach mode is active. We've got everything set here. We've got... Oh yeah, we're looking beautiful, you guys. Matter of fact, I can go ahead and flip. Airspeed hold we don't need. Well... Again, I've never landed with this yoke, so I don't know, you know, what'll be what, but I think we'll be all right. Check our altitude. Almost there to where once I get down to 2,500, we're going to go down and change our airspeed to 130. Probably 135. Let's see. It's not very windy, so we're going to do 135. I don't want to stall. Okay.
$2,500.
Okay. We've got it, guys. Will you stop doing that? Gear is down. All right, guys.
1,000. $500. $400. $300. $200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Well, guys, that felt pretty daggone good for the first flight. I don't know. I think we might have touching down. Did you hear that? I think I might have stalled a little. I could have pulled back maybe a little too far on the yoke. I don't know. But I feel really good about what went on here. So now I can turn off nav. Lock is off. Strobe lights are off. Landing lights are off. There we go. All right, guys. We will take a look and see how we did here. I don't even know. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the landing. Hopefully it went good. We'll find out here shortly. Okay, that's 25 feet off center. That stall probably is why they said bad. It says bad landing, excellent landing, or bad flying, excellent landing, perfect aircraft management. All right, so on takeoff, no bounces. We was pitched up 6.61 degrees, 0 takeoff bank, 0 takeoff yaw. Maximum flight G-force 0.38 G, which is a minor penalty. Maximum pitch angle was minor. And again, this is all I got to do with pulling back on that yoke. Yeah, we stalled. So we got minus 391. Touchdown speed was 126. So I was a little slow. Yep. Nose gear was good, actually. Nice. Okay, I gotta do something about runway. Why did it land me on an icy runway? So that would explain why. Okay. I think it was a good flight, though. I really do. We'll record that, and that's where we'll leave it. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I think the flight went good. I really like this new yoke. It really felt like, you know, I was in control. You know, my gear, my flaps, everything. So for a rating as far as flying with the yoke, 1 to 10, 1 being worst, 10 being the best, I'm going 10, you guys. I'm going 10. So there you go. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And we'll be doing their video here shortly with an overall about the Honeycomb and some of the things that you need to know. So make sure you listen.